I'm sure your business has a balance sheet, but do you? Hi, my name's Gordon De Silva, and I'm the Hello, my name is Gordon De Silva. I'm a multi-award winning chartered accountant, the international best-selling author of Profit Propeller, and the creator of the Profit Multiplier program. On this blog, I'd like to suggest to you that a really interesting report that you may want to produce for yourself if your accountant doesn't produce it for you as part of their premium service is the personal balance sheet. The personal balance sheet is very similar in principle to your business balance sheet. It is a snapshot of where you are personally as opposed to where your business is personally. And we're talking, in the main, we're talking about financial measures. So, for example, your personal balance sheet would include your cash balances, the values of your insurances that could be cashed in, your pension value maybe, your value of your investments, whether there be property, buy-to-lets, commercial property, or whether there be stocks and shares or gold or wine. And the whole asset sheet would then be compared to your liability sheet, and you would end up with a net asset or a net liability. Hopefully it's a net asset or a net liability situation. Now, unless you're in a fast-moving business, you may feel that once a year is good enough for this. Now, in a business, the balance sheet should probably be looked at every month at least, maybe every quarter at an outside, but anything less than that is probably not enough for a business. But for you personally, as long as your business is well managed, your personal life will take care of itself largely in terms of its finances, and hopefully in other areas as well, because you're managing your time, you're managing your stress levels, you're managing your team, you're managing your income to impact on your life positively. But in your personal balance sheet, the numbers, if you track the numbers once a year, that is good enough, and you can then begin to see what the change in value is from one year to the next. And it's always the comparative that's important, because there's no point comparing that to, for example, Richard Branson's personal balance sheet, because it's going to be so far away from where we are that unless you are close to Richard Branson, let me put it that way, in which case you're probably not listening to this blog. But you would then begin to identify whether your business is taking you towards your personal goals or it's not. And one of the things that's potentially controversial with the personal balance sheet is the inclusion or exclusion of your domestic property. Now, the reason I say that is because too many people consider their home an investment, and in fact, I don't see that. I see it as your place for living, and it's not easy to sell it and then take the money out of it, which is what investment should be, right? If I want to sell one of my buy-to-let properties, I could. It doesn't impact on my personal living standards or where I live or how I live. It may impact it positively, of course, or I may want to sell some shares, and I can do that at a drop of a hat. So those are the sort of things that are truly investments. A domestic home is a home, and I would like to exclude it from a person's balance sheet along with their liabilities. Now, we may want to, it's very, very easy to do two balance sheets, one with the home in and the mortgage, and one without the home and the mortgage in it. And that, I think, is fair enough. I would also exclude cars, motor vehicles. They tend to be depreciating assets. They're not even assets, they're liabilities, because they keep going wrong. They needed servicing, they need insuring, so it's a cost. They never go up unless you've got a collector's item. So here's my suggestion to you. Do you have, first the question, do you have, or have you ever looked at a personal balance sheet? If you haven't, a good time is now to start, because if you don't start, you know, you leave it for another year, you'll have nothing to compare with. So if you do one now and next year around this time you do another one, or typically at your tax year end or at your business year end, then that would be cool, because if you leave it too long, then you don't have the comparative. So do one for yourself, get your accountant to do one for you. If you're one of our clients and you want to consider trying out one of our premium services and you want a personal balance sheet, let us know, and we'll do one for you at a big discount, and just to try it out, because I want you to understand the value of it before you buy. Like everything, you know, just like creating value or delivering value to clients. So let me leave you with our thoughts. If you like it, please click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share this on your social media, and of course comment on it. Tell me what other topics you'd like me to cover, and I'll do that with pleasure. In the meantime, take care of yourself and business, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Goodbye.